सर स्क्रीन शेयर कीजिए। ठीक है सर, रिकॉर्डिंग स्टार्ट है, आप क्लासेस स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं।
ठीक। Okay, so guys, hello and good evening to all.
Good evening, sir.
Hello. So we'll start off with the next unit, that is analytics in sales and operation planning. So herein we would be talking about what kind of a critical role does analytics play while planning upon your sales and the core operations for your organization and for your specifically for your supply chain. The supply chain operations, why is it important? Because it helps you to integrate your demand, your supply, and at the same time, it helps you to do a lot of financial planning. At the same time, you can also do certain forecasting. It helps you to say create say more accurate results for you and your organization. And at the same time, you can have the decision alignment, because whatever you forecast, if it's accurate, you can take a it helps you because it why analytics, because it supports you in your decision making. So suppose if my forecasting, if my tools are right, then whatever decision I am taking, it's going to help me out in that. So that's the area wherein your say analytics in your supply chain is so useful. Then it focuses on balancing your service level and your cost efficiency, because whatever services you are offering and at different levels, and what at what cost you are offering those services. So again, analytics helps you to do that, right? Then focusing on your criticality for your competitive advantage, specifically in your modern supply chains, because as an organization today, organization sees its supply chain from a very different perspective. Why from a different perspective? Because today there are various companies for whom supply chain is also a part of the competitive advantage, because they have their so robust, so agile supply chain that they are able to say get product things delivered at a very rapid rate, and at the same time say with the lesser cost. So for these organizations, the supply chain serves as a competitive advantage. And who are these organizations? These organizations are your like your Amazon, your Alibaba, your say Walmart. These are the organizations who has made their supply chains so robust, so agile, that these organizations are getting competitive advantage. And once I say competitive advantage, it's a core strategic term, right? Which we are using here. So once I say competitive advantage, it means that your organizations are able to get these say supply chains in terms of like if I am Walmart or I am Amazon or I am Alibaba, I can, or like take example of Amazon Prime. It's able to deliver product within a single day and maybe on the same day. So from E to quick commerce. And who has made it possible? It's their supply chain. It's how they manage their entire supply chain. Could be the backward supply chain or could be the forward supply chain. So these organizations, they are so good in managing these things, right? Now talking about the differentiated service levels. So herein we are talking about, since customers, say each and every customer, they are so unique. And at the same time, they are having say demand, their service levels, it has to be different. So how you manage your differentiated service level, until unless you don't have the proper analytics for your differentiated customers, you can never ever manage the, just a second. I think it's not moving. Let me just reshare the presentation. I hope now it's fine. Okay. So, right. So these are the critical components wherein your organization helps you to get the competitive advantage. So when we are talking about the differentiated, then there's a classification called as the ABC classification that helps you to prioritize resources, wherein you put in resources under the different categories, and from there you try to identify what all are the resources that's helpful for me. Then you have high value customers versus which gives you a high service level. So they are like what nowadays organization do specifically when you are managing your entire.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
The slides are not moving.
is it now?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, then I'll use this mode only. Now it's moving, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll stick to this. So what is happening if you look upon this the entire picture? So for each and every say organization, they have no uh different types and levels of customers. So now how you can manage these different type and level of customer? Like for example, if I have a customer who is say who is say, I would not use this word valuable, I would say to whom the satisfaction level is high even on the or I would say I'll talk about value in terms of the say revenue. So for one particular customer, suppose the revenue which he or she is sharing, and in comparison to the other customer, If suppose the other customer is a high revenue yield customer for the company, now how you differentiate between these two? Secondly, if you are differentiating, then what kind of a service levels? Because if I am like spending 5 lakh for, I'm giving revenue to a particular company, and in comparison to me, Mr. X is like giving a revenue of 1 lakh rupees. Mr. Y is giving revenue of say 2 lakh rupees. So who is the most high yielding customer who gives maximum revenue to company? It's of course me. So for me, the service level has to be different. It cannot be like no what company is doing for X and what company is doing for Y. It cannot do the same for me because my service levels has to be different, right? Then trade-off between cost and responsiveness. So for an organization, you always have to think about know how, in terms of cost and in the terms of responsiveness, how you act. Then how you use analytics in terms of say cost differentiation, in terms of segmentation, in terms of optimization. Are you like doing some sort of analytics that's helping you out to do that? So if you are able to do this, then for you as an organization, you are doing a good job. But if you're not able to do it, then your entire supply chain, no, if you don't follow these analytics and you, then you can never have those differentiated service level for your customers because it is, I would say, the analytics which allows you to do that. If you don't have the data, if you don't do any sort of analysis, if you can't, you know, say have knowledge or skills to perform certain core analytical constructs on a particular data, then you can never reach to an effective decision making. Although you may make a decision, but how about making an effective decision? Because every corner of the business, or specifically, if we look upon in today's era of business scenario, you require to be an effective decision maker. So, who can help you out to take accurate and finest decisions? And apart from decision, no, decision is something which, okay, fine, I can take it for today. I have the data. I know my organization. I know my capital structure. I know my financials of the company. I have the information about the market. I have the information from human resource about my people, the number of hours they can work, the specific skill set which my organization is having. So all these factors, fundamentally create a scope of huge room. So this is where you need to have say core use of analytics for segmentation. If you can't use analytics for these purposes, then as an organization, this could be like this could not be say unsuccessful for you. So these are the, I would say, certain core points which as a supply chain analytics partner you need to always remember, that starting from your very customer products requirement at different levels to reaching out to the ABC classification, then types of differentiation between ABC, say customers using ABC analysis, then trade-offs between your cost and responsiveness, and finally, how well you can use artificial intelligence. Because today, if I say no, I don't know artificial intelligence, then it's a big question mark. Nobody is going to take that up because by virtue of the fact, if you are at a senior or a managerial position in data analytics or say supply chain analytics, then you need to critically understand and see how these things are progressing for you and for your organization. Right. Now talking about your service level analytics tool. So first one is your demand variability analysis, wherein you try to forecast what exactly is my demand and how I'm going to like meet it, because demand is something, no? which impacts you directly as an organization. I would say rather in terms of selling, because if suppose you are thinking of launching a, like in the last class we talked about in innovations and new product launch. So suppose if you are a customer and you are like not too pleased with the say selling of the plant, uh, s- say uh, you try to analyze, no, कि भाई मेरी आज डिमांड ये है और फ्यूचर में व्हाट इट्स गोइंग टू बी। सो मुझे आज का इफ आई नो व्हाट्स माय करंट डिमांड इज कि चलिए 100 यूनिट्स थी, मैंने कुछ रिसोर्सेज देखे, मैंने डिसीजंस लिए, मैंने एनालिटिक्स लगाया, मेरे पास डिसीजन के लिए डेटा भी आ गया ना, हैव टू लाइक डू ओके, ठीक है मुझे को ये पता चल गया एंड आई एम गोइंग टू प्रोसीड विद दैट। बट व्हाट अबाउट द फ्यूचर? आज के दिन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, आज के दिन अगर आप सपोज खुद डिमांड मीट कर पा रहे हो मार्केट की, बहुत अच्छी बात है, लेकिन क्या आप एज एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आर यू रेडी फॉर फ्यूचर? क्या आप फ्यूचर की डिमांड को मीट कर सकते हो? दिस इज समथिंग विच इज अ बिग टाइम क्वेश्चन एंड ईच एंड एवरी इंडिविजुअल who is part of this has to answer it, because if you can't answer it then it would be a big issue and problem for you. So you need to understand and then only you can eliminate that, right? Then fill rate and cycle services, which say which affects your overall say decision making, specifically as a part of your analytical framework. So what is my fill rate? What is my cycle say service level? At what cycle, at what pace am I going to like uh, get things for me? Then inventory optimization models, wherein you try to optimize your inventories, you try to find out no what is your current inventory, or rather if I'm like having an inventory, how I can optimize in terms of cost. Because first and foremost responsibility as a supply chain manager or as a supply chain analyst, first and foremost thing which you need to take care of it is nothing but your what I should say is nothing but your uh, no say that could help you out with the overall say optimization of it. Then machine learning for your demand prediction. So machine learning again are like when we are talking about machine learning, it's generally implemented through tools like Python, R, or because you have a lot of data wherein you try to make know your statistical analysis quite intelligent enough to take care of these things. So you have your customer segmentation analytics wherein you try to find out, you try to map customers in terms of different segments, and then you analyze your data. Then you have your strategic placement of plants, which reduces your cost and it improves your overall service. So location analytics is again very important factor. आज के दिन इफ आई से मैं चलिए एनालिटिक्स वर्ड भी हटा दूं, आप मुझे ये बता दीजिए सप्लाई चेन में क्या लोकेशन की इंपॉर्टेंस होती है कि नहीं? जस्ट टेल मी यस और नो। यस, ऑफ कोर्स यू वुड
Sir,
से यस, बिकॉज विदाउट लोकेशन मतलब कौन सा प्रोडक्ट कहाँ पे बन के आ रहा है। सी ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड एप्पल का प्रोडक्ट भी अगर आप ले ले अपने माइंड में, हाउ इट इज लाइक इट मूव्स इन द सप्लाई चेन। जो एप्पल की सप्लाई चेन ग्लोबल है, फाइनली सोचिए एप्पल का प्रोडक्ट जो है पूरी दुनिया घूमने के बाद चाइना में जाके असेंबल होता है। कैन यू बिलीव दैट? बिकॉज चाइना हैज द बेस्ट असेंबली लाइन। उसने खुद को अपना इतना रोबस्ट असेंबली लाइन में इट हैज एस्टैब्लिश इटसेल्फ कि वो सारी चीजें इट इज एबल टू डू दैट, राइट? So चलिए आज आपको I'll show you one video. Give me 1 minute. I'll show you one video on how the Apple product has been assembled. This is interesting. Let me show you. Just a second. Let me first I have to unshare, I think. Okay, I'm unable to share one. I don't know why is it so. I'm unable to share this. Why this link is not coming? The share link. Okay, now it's coming, I guess. Let me show you this.
Oh, there is a small object no larger than the palm of your hand, yet it quietly consumes more than 1/3 of your lifetime? Not gold, not luxury items, but the very iPhone you are holding right now. Behind its minimalist exterior lies an incredibly complex production journey. From extracting bauxite to produce the aluminum frame, to manufacturing the screen in a space-grade cleanroom, every single iPhone must go through hundreds of precise and sophisticated steps before it finally rests in your hand. In today's video, we will take you from A to Z through the entire iPhone manufacturing process. Join us as we uncover the secrets behind the iPhone you use every day and discover why its level of craftsmanship has earned admiration from people all around the world. When it comes to smartphones, one name inevitably stands out: Apple, the technology titan that has transformed the world with the iPhone. Since its debut in 2007, the iPhone has not only redefined the smartphone industry, but also generated immense economic value. Today, the iPhone accounts for more than 50% of Apple's revenue, making it the highest-grossing consumer product on the planet. Before reaching your hands, every single iPhone must survive over 800 rigorous tests, a journey in which a failure at any step results in the device being immediately removed from the production line as if it had never existed. The iPhone is more than just a phone. It is an icon that has sparked debates worldwide for over a decade. Some say it is expensive, others call it unreal, yet no one can deny that this tiny device embodies prestige, design sensibility, and even the lifestyle of its owner. At the bauxite mine, the extraction process begins. To break through the hard layers of ore, engineers perform controlled drilling and blasting, releasing the bauxite from the parent rock. Massive excavators and haul trucks move continuously, digging and transporting the ore from the surface layers down to the collection site. The ore is then conveyed along long belts through high-capacity crushing systems, where it is sorted and separated from impurities. Each fragment of bauxite is thoroughly washed, purified, and prepared for the next stage in the aluminum production journey, where heat, chemicals, and electrical energy will transform the raw mineral into pure metal, ready to be reborn as the aluminum frame of modern iPhones. Once it leaves the mine, the bauxite enters the processing plant, where high temperatures and intense pressures awaken the metallic potential hidden deep within the earth. In a caustic solution, the ore dissolves, leaving behind alumina, a pure snow-white powder. Yet this is only the beginning. The alumina is melted in massive electric currents of thousands of amperes, separating oxygen and generating pure aluminum, a lightweight, bright, and durable metal. From the first droplets of molten aluminum, flawless alloy sheets are produced, ready to move on to the next phase, forming the iPhone's body, where raw materials are transformed into the foundation of advanced technology. When molten aluminum solidifies into the first sheets of alloy, they are ready to enter the process of shaping the iPhone frame. Here, high-speed milling machines carve out every minute detail with precision down to the thousandth of a millimeter, producing iPhone frames with absolute accuracy. As the milling cutters carve and shape the aluminum frames, an enormous amount of heat is generated, which could potentially deform the material or dull the cutting tools. For this reason, water or specially formulated cooling solutions are continuously sprayed throughout the machining process to maintain stability and precision. Once the backbone has been mechanically shaped, the process moves into an entirely different realm, a world of ultra-pure materials and nanotechnology. After the chip design is finalized, the production of the processor, the device's brain, officially begins. In this stage, absolute precision is critical. Even a single speck of dust or a deviation of a few micrometers is enough to render the entire component useless. Within high-level cleanrooms, lithography machines worth hundreds of millions of dollars use ultraviolet light to etch ultra-thin circuit layers onto the surface of silicon wafers, creating billions of transistors on an area no larger than a fingernail. To ensure the iPhone operates reliably, the battery is an indispensable component. In Shenzhen, China, the Pisen production lines manufacture thousands of batteries every day with precision comparable to chip production. The process begins with two thin metal strips, aluminum and copper, coated with lithium cobalt oxide and graphite, then fed through a long furnace with multiple temperature zones in a completely dust-free cleanroom. During the battery pressing stage, the plates, already filled with electrolyte solution, are placed on a heated platform. A hydraulic press descends with pressure calibrated to the Newton, distributing the electrolyte evenly and compressing the electrode layers. Even a small deviation can cause the battery to swell, degrade prematurely, or explode. Before leaving the factory, each battery undergoes a Hell test. Thermal shock chambers cycle the cells between 20 degree and 80 degree, followed by dozens of continuous charge-discharge cycles to detect voltage drops, swelling, or increases in internal resistance. Only batteries that survive all these rigorous tests are labeled, packaged, and released, ensuring safe and stable operation for many years. If the battery serves as the power source, then the main display is the surface of extreme precision, where even the slightest deviation of just a few microns is enough to render a component unusable. The journey begins with raw glass panels immersed in chemical baths where high-speed spinning discs apply a uniform coating, which may serve as anti-glare, fingerprint-resistant, or hardness-enhancing layers. The rotation speed and solution viscosity are carefully controlled to ensure the coating is applied with micron-level precision. After coating, the glass panels pass through a multi-chamber washing system using different cleaning solutions ranging from ultra-pure deionized water to ion-removing agents and ultrasonic baths. This process eliminates dust, impurities, and any excess coating. A single remaining particle is enough to discard the entire panel. Once the surface is perfectly clean, the slightest error can lead to severe consequences, ranging from a faulty screen, short circuits, to the risk of battery failure or explosion. At this point, absolute precision becomes a matter of survival. The process begins with the placement of the main circuit board, which houses the CPU and memory, into the device chassis with micron-level accuracy. The circuit board must be perfectly secured to ensure seamless connections with other components without any deviation. Once the board is stabilized, the display is mounted using vacuum suction technology, which holds the screen firmly in place while preventing any dust from entering. Immediately afterward, ultrafine data cables connecting the display, sensors, and circuitry are attached by robots, guaranteeing that each electronic connection is stable, secure, and perfectly aligned. Next comes the installation of the battery.
Parakeet AI is an AI online call assistant that gives you the answer to every question on your online call.
The camera module, and the vibration motor, components that are highly sensitive to their surrounding environment. A single speck of dust entering the camera can create bright spots in images, completely compromising the photographic experience. This entire procedure is performed entirely by robots, from positioning components and soldering connections to inspecting circuits and final calibrations. These robots operate with precision down to thousandths of a millimeter, ensuring every component is exactly in place, minimizing risks to the lowest possible level, and maintaining the highest standards before the device leaves the production line. Observing the entire assembly line, it becomes clear that every iPhone is the result of a delicate orchestration between mechanics, automation, and quality control. Every action, every connection matters, and even the smallest error can render the entire device inoperative. This is a testament to the meticulous craftsmanship, scientific rigor, and cutting-edge technology that lies behind the smartphones we use every day. Once the physical form of the iPhone is fully complete, it enters the quality control stage, the critical phase that determines whether the product meets the high standards required to reach the hands of users. At this stage, technology and human oversight work in tandem to detect every flaw, no matter how small. Automated robotic systems perform a series of technical inspections, from touchscreen sensitivity, camera performance, and audio output, to network connectivity and processing efficiency. Even a single deviation beyond the allowed threshold results in the device being immediately removed from the production line. In addition, each iPhone must undergo drop tests, during which the device is released from various heights onto different surfaces to simulate real-world impacts. High-speed sensors and cameras record every effect, verifying whether the screen, frame, and internal components can withstand the forces of impact without damage. Following that, the devices undergo water and dust resistance testing according to IP standards. Each unit is exposed to mist, immersion, or direct water sprays to ensure the enclosure effectively prevents the intrusion of liquids and dust. Only those iPhones that successfully pass all of these rigorous tests are allowed to move on to the packaging and shipping stage, guaranteeing that the user receives a flawless, durable, and safe product. Once an iPhone has successfully passed hundreds of rigorous tests, it enters a stage that may appear simple at first glance, yet is astonishingly sophisticated: packaging. Each pallet containing hundreds of iPhones must have its weight perfectly balanced to prevent tilting or shifting during air transport. This meticulous attention to detail is precisely why iPhones rarely arrive damaged in the hands of users. Every shipment is packed with the precision and care of a military-grade cargo operation. And as the iPhone leaves the factory, the journey of another essential accessory begins: the phone case. If the iPhone represents cutting-edge technology, the case serves as its silent armor, providing protection against scratches, drops, and the wear of daily life. The process begins with raw polymer pellets, TPU, PC, or silicone, which are carefully measured and fed into high-precision injection molding machines. These machines heat the material to the exact temperature needed for perfect flow, then inject it into metal molds that define the case's exact shape. This initial form then enters a series of meticulous finishing steps. Trimming removes any leftover flash, edges are rounded, and the case is polished to create smooth curves that hug the contours of the camera module, buttons, and speaker openings. Every detail is sculpted to ensure that the case will fit flawlessly onto the iPhone, providing both protection and ergonomic comfort. Once the physical shape is perfected, the surface of the case is transformed with UV printing, color coding, or decorative patterns. Each layer of ink is applied in a delicate mist, then cured under ultraviolet light to create a durable, fade-resistant surface. For transparent cases, an additional anti-yellowing coating is applied, preserving clarity for years of use. From the first molten pellet to the final polished, printed surface, every case is a testament to precision engineering, meticulous craftsmanship, and the seamless integration of technology and design, ensuring that the iPhone is shielded in style while maintaining its aesthetic perfection. For more than 10 years, the global smartphone market has been a relentless arena of technological competition, with the iPhone standing firmly at its center.
Project manager?
Yes, 15 years of experience.
Do you have any AI certifications?
No, but I'm a
Every rival, from Samsung and Google to Xiaomi, has continuously tried to challenge Apple's dominance, seeking to claim the crown for themselves. Yet despite the intense pressure, the iPhone has preserved its unique position, built on a seamless ecosystem, industry-leading chips, and manufacturing standards so precise that even a single micron matters. Apple's devices are more than just tools. They are symbols of craftsmanship and loyalty. Users don't just buy an iPhone. They invest in a philosophy, a lifestyle of simplicity, elegance, and precision. Meanwhile, competitors push forward with open systems and unlimited customization, embracing a different vision of what a smartphone can be. This clash of philosophies, freedom versus refinement, is what fuels one of the most fascinating rivalries in the modern era of technology, shaping the devices millions of people rely on every day. From raw aluminum sheets to processors containing billions of transistors, from ultra-thin displays to batteries monitored, down to the milliamp, every single iPhone undergoes hundreds of stages of fabrication, inspection, and assembly with near-perfect precision. Behind the sleek exterior that rests in your hand lies an enormous technological ecosystem, where robots, clean rooms, and exacting standards operate continuously to produce a device that is stable, durable, and meticulously refined in every detail. And that is the complete journey of an iPhone, from raw materials to the finished product. Which iPhone model are you using right now, and what feature do you find the most impressive? Leave a comment below to share your thoughts and experiences, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. By doing so, you'll stay up to date and continue exploring even more fascinating technology stories, behind-the-scenes processes, and cutting-edge innovations in our upcoming videos.
Right, so this is how the entire now let me take you back. Let me take you back to the presentation. Okay, so this is how I wanted to tell you, how the overall your supply chain and your location advantage helps you out. So if you have seen this entire video, how iPhone has been and say manufactured. So think of what kind of a supply chain, what kind of say machines or what kind of a technology does Apple uses to get you know such a high say demand product or such a high value product being manufactured. So just think of it what Apple is doing. So now imagine the process which it follows, because like it if you've seen in the video, more than 800 say sub processes that are being used and added to manufacture the iPhone. So just think of it how Apple is going to do this. And this is one company, because this is also must be new to you, because starting from no say manufacturing of batteries, from say mining of bauxite to say bringing on the display and entire chips, everything, how Apple is doing it, and it is doing it so perfectly. So what product you see, the high end product which you see in your hand is basically uh, say a journey which goes through the entire globe, and it goes through a huge supply chain. So that is what I wanted to tell you through this. Now talking about the location, like no where your plant it you have where your plant is located, because your location would be directly related to your cost or directly be related to your services. So there are certain factors which you always determine while doing a location analysis. It includes your say transportation costs, your labor costs, your proximity to market. So all these things comes under your location analytics. Then there are certain plant location models. So uh, these helps you to know understand that where and when you can have the where you can have the plant that's been located. So there are certain models that helps you to do that. First, we are talking about center of gravity method. So this is again a say quantitative and a continuous location model that is used to identify the optimal, I would say, geographic position of a facility. And this is done by minimizing your transportation cost. So basically, what you do in this model, you compute a weighted average of coordinates based on the demand, say demand you have, or the volume of shipment that you have to do. And herein you assume your transportation cost. It is, I would say, it is proportional to the distance and volume. So you have that mathematical formula also, wherein no you compute it by say demand at the location, you multiply it by the coordinates, and then you divide it again by the say the location, the demand at the location. So you get the optimal facility location. So that's a mathematical formula which you can use it. Now talking about second, about mixed integer programming model. So again, it's an optimization based model that is used for complex facility location. This particular decision involves your discrete choices. So generally your decision over here is into binary, that is 0 and 1. So where is whether you have to like open a plant or you don't have to open a plant. So continuous is your quality of goods that's going to be shipped. So here in your objective function, now if you look upon the mixed integer programming model, your objective function is to minimize your total cost. That is your fixed cost plus your transportation cost plus your, I would say, operational cost. How you minimize, because your total cost is always your fixed cost plus transportation cost. So through network diagram, or if you do multi-market allocation, you try to do this. Then you have your heuristics and your simulation based model. So these are generally your approximate or iterative methods that is used when you have your exact say optimization that is infeasible. So heuristics is no, we call it as rule of thumb. Example, say clustering algorithms or no, they are like faster, but they don't guaranteed you optimally. So here in simulations is like models that could say uh, give you a real world say scenario. That means no more approximation to what exactly the scenario exists in the say in the real world. So for simulation, we generally use the famous technique is your Monte Carlo simulation or agent-based modeling. So these are the two simulation techniques which we generally used. Now you have your scenario analysis for your uncertainty. Wherein you have your multiple future scenarios with that are created. Example, high demand, low demand, or your disruption cases. And each scenario is being
Excuse me, sir.
evaluated.
The slides
Yeah,
are not moving. Slides are not moving.
you can't see this plant location model slide.
Yeah, but you are taking some example and all.
No, I'm just
That's
talking about
not
like each model I'm talking about. Now I'm
okay.
talking about heuristics and simulation based model.
Yeah.
After this, I'll tell you about scenario analysis for uncertainty and lastly, GIS based analytics.
Okay, sir.
Right.
Okay.
So scenario analysis for uncertainty is like wherein you take I would simply say you take uncertainty into your decision making, right? So herein what you do generally you try to create multiple I would say future scenarios. uh, जैसे कि हो सकता है मेरा हाई डिमांड हो लो डिमांड हो मैंने एक सिनेरियो ले रहा हूँ सिनेरियो तो आप बना सकते हो क्रिएट कर सकते हो और यहाँ मैं कोई डिसरप्शन का केस ले रहा हूँ तो जनरली आप वूका वर्ल्ड जो कि वोलेटाइल है ना वोलेटाइल से वर्ल्ड को आप कंसिडर करते हैं यू देन यू डू दी स्ट्रेटेजिक प्लानिंग तो मैं भाई सिनेरियो बनाना कोई मुश्किल नहीं है मैं एक सिनेरियो लेता हूँ कि भाई मैं मान के चल रहा हूँ अगले साल 10% मेरा से ग्रोथ होगा और या मैं मान के चलता हूँ अगले साल 10% सप्लाई डिसरप्शन होगी या मैं मान के चलता हूँ 10% कॉस्ट एस्केलेशन होगी तो ये तीन सिनेरियो मैंने बना दिए अब इसके बेसिस पे मैं एनालाइज कर सकता हूँ एनालिसिस कर सकता हूँ और उसके बेसिस पे देन आई कैन मेक सर्टेन डिसीजंस लास्ट आता है जीआईएस जीआईएस होता है इज योर ज्योग्राफिक इंफॉर्मेशन सिस्टम्स तो यहाँ पे हम क्या करते हैं डेटा को एनालिटिक्स के साथ मिक्स करते हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ ज्योग्राफिक लोकेशंस तो मैं हर ज्योग्राफिक लोकेशन से कुछ डेटा लेता हूँ और उस ज्योग्राफिक बिकॉज जीआईएस इंडिकेटर इज योर इंटायरली ज्योग्राफिक इंडिकेटर्स तो भाई मैं अलग अलग ज्योग्राफी से मतलब इंडिया में मान लीजिए मुझे 100 पॉइंट से डेटा लेना है तो हो सकता है मैं 15 पॉइंट मेरे साउथ में हो 20 पॉइंट मेरे नॉर्थ में हो 15 पॉइंट मेरे ईस्ट में है कुड भी 20 पॉइंट मेरे वेस्ट में इस तरह करके मैं सारे बाइफर्केशंस करूंगा एंड देन आई कैन टेक डेटा फ्रॉम ऑल पॉइंट्स तो होगा क्या ज्योग्राफिक इंडिकेट जीआईएस से मेरे पास इंफॉर्मेशन मेरे पास जो चीज़ें हैं वो और अच्छे से वैलिडेट हो जाएंगी और मुझे चीज़ें पता चल जाएंगी कि भाई जो मैं वट एवर डिसीजन आई एम टेकिंग वट एवर थिंग्स आई एम थिंकिंग ऑफ वेदर आई एम डूइंग इट राइट और नॉट सो इससे मुझे ये सारी चीज़ें पता चल जाती है राइट नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट द प्रोडक्ट लाइन मिक्स ऑप्टिमाइजेशन सो यहाँ पे मैं बात कर रहा हूँ टू डिटरमाइन ऑप्टिमल प्रोडक्ट पोर्टफोलियो एट ईच प्लांट तो मुझे देखना पड़ेगा भाई कि मेरा जो प्रोडक्ट का पोर्टफोलियो है वो मैं इसको ऑप्टिमली यूटिलाइज कर रहा हूँ कि नहीं देन आई हैव टू थिंक अबाउट जो भी मेरे कैपेसिटी कॉन्स्टेंट्स होंगे बिकॉज कोई भी प्रोग्राम सॉरी प्लांट होगा ना उसके अपने कैपेसिटी कॉन्स्टेंट्स होते हैं भाई मैं अगर 100 यूनिट बना सकता हूँ तो मेरे प्लांट प्लांट को मतलब आप चाहो कि मैं भाई मेरे को टास्क मिला है मेरे को एज एन ऑपरेशंस मैनेजर मुझे प्रूव करना है मेरे बॉस ने मेरे सीईओ ने मुझसे कहा है कि मुझे 150 यूनिट प्रोड्यूस करनी है तो मैं 150 यूनिट प्रोड्यूस कर दूंगा। नहीं कर सकते हैं आप, बिकॉज प्लांट की एक कैपेसिटी होती है, उस प्लांट को आप कितना, मान लीजिए आप हो सकता है 10% स्ट्रेच कर सकते हो, 20% कर सकते हो मैक्सिमम, 100 को 120 तक जा सकते हो, बट 150 इज लाइक 50% स्ट्रेचिंग आउट योर प्लान। फिर वो सारे रिसोर्सेज है कि नहीं। तो दिस इज हाउ यू डू एंटायर थिंग। उसके बाद अब मैं क्योंकि सप्लाई चेन एनालिटिक्स की बात कर रहा हूँ, तो मैं, मेरा डेटा मुझे देख के बताएगा कि मेरे क्या सप्लाई चेन इतनी रोबस्ट है कि अगर मान लीजिए मैं 50% प्रोडक्शन लाइन बढ़ाता हूँ तो मेरी सप्लाई चेन जो है वो सारी चीजें हैंडल कर लेगी। इज माई सप्लाई चेन दैट मच रोबस्ट इनफ? तो ये सारी चीजें मुझे माइंड में रखनी होती है, एंड देन ओनली आई कैन डू दिस फर्दर। देन लीनियर प्रोग्रामिंग, हम इसमें मॉडल्स यूज करते हैं, हम फोरकास्ट करते हैं डिमांड को, हम बैलेंस बनाते हैं एफिशिएंसी और फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी के बीच। दिस इज हाउ यू डू द प्रोडक्ट लाइन मिक्स ऑप्टिमाइजेशन। Now talking about the portfolio planning approach. So generally what happens, your contribution, you do the contribution margin analysis, you do the, I would say demand prioritization, you do the capacity allocation strategies. भाई मैं कितनी कैपेसिटी एलोकेट कर सकता हूँ, मेरी डिमांड क्या है। मैं अब मान लीजिए आज के दिन सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट क्या है, मैं डिमांड को कितने अच्छे से सपोज प्रिडिक्ट कर सकता हूँ। मान लो मैंने मार्केट की डिमांड प्रिडिक्ट कर ली, मैं कोई भी सपोज करिए यूनिक प्रोडक्ट बना रहा हूँ, ठीक है। अब मैं जो प्रोडक्ट बना रहा हूँ वो पूरे दिल्ली एनसीआर में सिर्फ एक ही और इंसान है जो बना रहा है। अब उस दिल्ली एनसीआर में जो एक इंसान है, उसकी टोटल सेल्स है मान लीजिए 90 lakhs, और उस 90 lakhs में अभी गैप कितना है, कम से कम 20 लाख रुपए का गैप है, जहाँ पे प्रोडक्ट की तो रिक्वायरमेंट है, अगर लेकिन कोई सेलर लाके सामान बेचेगा अगर, तो वो 20 लाख रुपए का गैप मिट सकता है। सो नाउ एज एन सप्लाई चेन एनालिस्ट व्हाट यू आर गोइंग टू डू। मैं अगर सप्लाई चेन एनालिस्ट की जगह होता तो व्हाट इज वुड बी, व्हाट शुड हैव बीन माय फर्स्ट डिसीजन। मेरा पहला डिसीजन तो यही होता कि भाई आप ये जितने भी से आपके हैं, ये पार्टनर्स हैं, जितने भी आपके सप्लाई चेन के एलिमेंट्स, इसको केयरफुली रिव्यू करिए, एंड देन ओनली यू मूव फॉरवर्ड। बिकॉज आप बिना केयरफुली रिव्यू करके एंड यू स्टार्ट मूविंग फॉरवर्ड, then there would be a lot of say you and cry and chaos. So this is something you always need to give some mind. Then you have your multi-product. Just a second. Yeah. Now, talking about your production planning. So generally what happens while doing your production planning, you try to translate your demand forecast into production plan. भाई मैंने डिमांड की फोरकास्ट कर ली, मैंने सारे एनालिटिकल टूल्स लगा लिए, अब मैं अगर उस पर प्रोडक्शन नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ या मैं एस्टिमेट ही नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ भाई मेरी कितनी डिमांड है और मुझे कितना प्रोड्यूस करना है, देन अगेन इट्स से बिग सेटबैक फॉर योर सप्लाई चेन एनालिस्ट कि भाई उसने या तो डिमांड सही से वो नहीं करा, क्या बोलते हैं, प्रिडिक्ट नहीं करा, और अगर मान लीजिए सही से प्रिडिक्ट कर लिया उस पर आप प्रोडक्शन नहीं कर पा रहे, देन it's the problem of the production line or the your core operations manager. But as a supply chain analyst, I have my battle is one, because मैंने अगर अपने end से डिमांड को सही से प्रिडिक्ट करा है, then half of my battle is one. Then aggregate planning techniques, तो यहाँ पे मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, जो भी मेरी प्लानिंग है उसको मैं जितना भी है उसका एग्रीगेशन कर सकता हूँ, एंड देन आई कैन मूव फॉरवर्ड। कैपेसिटी प्लानिंग एंड रिसोर्स एलोकेशन, तो एक प्लांट कितनी कैपेसिटी पे चलेगा, बिकॉज दिस इज समथिंग यू हैव टू मैनेज इट क्वाइट ऑफन। अगर नहीं आप प्लांट को सही से मैनेज करते हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ रिसोर्स, तो देयर वुड बी अ लॉट ऑफ, कुड बी ब्रेकडाउन्स, कुछ भी से skill gap, could be employee dissonance over the CEO. So that could be the biggest problem, right? Now minimize your cost while meeting service levels. तो भाई सर्विस लेवल पे तो आपको मीट करना ही करना है, लेकिन अगर उस सर्विस लेवल पे मीट करते हैं, क्योंकि अब आप ऑपरेशंस और सप्लाई चेन एनालिटिक्स मैनेजर हो, तो अब आपका ये काम है कि भाई मैं सर्विस लेवल तो सेम प्रोवाइड कर रहा हूँ, मैं मैक्सिमम लेवल पर सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर रहा हूँ, बट क्या मैं अपने मैक्सिमम सर्विस लेवल प्रोवाइड करते हुए मैं अपनी कॉस्ट को मिनिमाइज कर पा रहा हूँ? एम आई एबल टू डू दैट? अगर मैं अपनी कॉस्ट को ही नहीं मिनिमाइज कर पा रहा हूँ तो मेरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए बहुत इट विल क्रिएट अ लॉन्ग लास्टिंग इम्पैक्ट, और कुड बी द फाइनेंशियल लॉसेस फॉर माय दिस थिंग, फॉर माय लैंड. So where you stay generally? Right. So where you stay generally? At which service level? So because people are different, their needs are different, their service level are different. So where you stay? Level 1, 2, 3. I cannot put 5 lakh customer into level 3. I have to put him into 1. I can put a 1 lakh customer into level 2 or a 50,000 customer into level 3. This is how the various service levels have been determined. Then ERP and APS systems. आज के दिन अगर आपके पास सप्लाई चेन का डेटा आपको फिजिकली कलेक्ट करना पड़ रहा है, देन आई वुड से इट्स दी मतलब वो एनालिस्ट किसी काम का नहीं है सप्लाई चेन का, अगर वो डेटा जाके मैन्युअली कलेक्ट कर रहा है. डेटा आपके सारे ईआरपी या आपके एपीएस सिस्टम से आने चाहिए, वो ऑटोमेटिक होने चाहिए, वो अपने आप फेच करने चाहिए. इवन अगर आज के दिन इफ एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन डजंट अपॉइंट अ सप्लाई चेन एनालिस्ट, तो कोई बात नहीं, मेरे सिस्टम इतने स्ट्रांग होने चाहिए मशीन लर्निंग और सारी चीज एआई से, कि वो अपने आप डेटा को कैप्चर करें. भाई जितने भी मेरे वेंडर्स के डेटा हैं जो वो ऑनलाइन सिस्टम से वाले होंगे, वो सारी चीज़ों को वो कैप्चर करें, एंड देन ही और शी कैन टेक इट टू मी. बट नाउ यू विल अंडरस्टैंड नहीं कि ये कैसे सारी चीज़ें करनी होती है. ठीक है. देन डिटेल शेड्यूलिंग एट मशीन वर्क सेंटर लेवल्स, then sequencing rules, FIFO, SPD, EDD, constant based शेड्यूलिंग. ये सारे आपके शेड्यूलिंग एनालिटिक्स होते हैं. भाई मैं कई बार कुछ चीज़ें फर्स्ट इन फर्स्ट आउट कर देता हूँ, या मैं इसको वेट कर लगा देता हूँ, या मैं इसको किस तरीके से शेड्यूल कर सकता हूँ. अगेन इट रिक्वायर सर्टेन एनालिटिकल कॉन्स्टेंट्स. एडवांस एनालिटिक्स, इफ यू लुक अपॉन प्रिडिक्टिव एनालिटिक्स फॉर डिमांड सेंसिंग, क्योंकि प्रिडिक्शन का काम ही है, तो अगर आपकी जो भी डिमांड, अगर वो प्रिडिक्शन आपका सिर्फ प्रिडिक्टिव एनालिटिक्स करके दे सकता है. आपकी प्रिस्क्रिप्टिव एनालिटिक्स जो है वो आपकी हेल्प करती है ऑप्टिमाइजेशन में. आपके डिजिटल ट्विंस आपकी हेल्प करते हैं सिनेरियो सिमुलेशन में. आपके एआई जो एमएल है, मशीन लर्निंग एंड आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, वो आपकी हेल्प करते हैं इंटीग्रेशन में. ये क्लाउड बेस्ड प्लानिंग प्लेटफॉर्म्स आपकी हेल्प करते हैं डेटा को फेच करने में एंड चीज़ों को स्टोर करने में. देन सर्टेन चैलेंजेस इन योर सप्लाई चेन एंड ऑपरेशनल एनालिटिक्स, वेयर इन योर डेटा क्वालिटी एंड इंटीग्रेशन इश्यूज. इसके कुछ चैलेंजेस बहुत ज़्यादा आते हैं कि भाई मेरे पास डेटा जो है उसकी क्वालिटी कैसी है. आज के दिन सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि मैं टूल्स एनालिसिस सारी चीज़ें, आपको एक्सेल चलाना भी आ गया, एंड आप सारी चीजें करके दे सकते हो, लेकिन क्या जो डेटा आपके सिस्टम ने फेच करके दिया है, जो आपके ईआरपी ने, आपके एलएमएस ने, इन सारी चीजों ने फेच करके जो डेटा दिया है, उसकी क्वालिटी क्या है? क्या उसमें ऐसा कोई इंटीग्रेशन इश्यूज तो नहीं है? क्या उस डेटा पे मैं रिलाई कर सकता हूँ? ये सारे क्वेश्चन जो है, ये सारी चीजें जो है, दिस इज समथिंग विच यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. देन डिमांड अनसर्टेनिटी, मेरी डिमांड जो है उसकी अनसर्टेनिटी, क्या डिमांड सर्टेन है या मेरी अनसर्टेन है, तो ये सारी चीजें मुझे देखनी होती है. देन कोऑर्डिनेशन अक्रॉस फंक्शंस, तो मुझे देखना होता है भाई जो भी मेरे फंक्शनल एरियाज हैं, जो भी डोमेन्स हैं, उसके बीच में कोऑर्डिनेशन कैसा है. दिस इज समथिंग विच आई हैव टू लुक इनटू इट. देन टेक्नोलॉजी अडॉप्शन बैरियर्स, तो मुझे यहाँ पे देखना होता है भाई जो मेरी टेक्नोलॉजी है उसके अडॉप्शन जो है वहाँ पे क्या दिक्कतें आ रही है. भाई हो सकता है मैं टेक्नोलॉजी अडॉप्ट कर पा रहा हूँ या नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. अगर मैं टेक्नोलॉजी अडॉप्ट कर पा रहा हूँ तो उसके क्या इश्यूज है, टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं अडॉप्ट कर पा रहा हूँ तो उसके सारे क्या इश्यूज हैं. देन योर चेंज मैनेजमेंट, तो वहाँ पे मुझे देखना होता है भाई कि कोई भी नया चीज या कोई भी मैं changes लेके आ रहा हूँ, then how I am going to proceed with that. Finally, last slide, wherein we are talking about analytics, driven supply chain and operational capabilities. It enhances your decision making. It enhances the overall quality. At the same time, it enables your differentiated services and cost efficiency. It also helps to provide support through strategic and your operational alignment. So future, if I talk about AI driven autonomous supply chain, so there's a future that lies ahead in it, and continuous improvement is one of the key that drives your entire analytics and your operational supply chain. So if you look upon analytics in your sales and operational planning, this is the entire picture that flows, and it helps you out to do that, right? So now that's the end of this presentation. So what I'll do, I'll just keep on changing slides. If you have any questions, you can read each one of them one by one again. And if you have any question, you can ask me, right? Anything if you have missed, if you have any question, please do ask me, right? Any keyword or anything which you are unable to understand, keep on asking. Right, so this is your final PPT. So I hope if you don't have any doubt in this, then you'd be able to understand, right? So what I'll do, I'll stop sharing. Okay, so I hope you have understood what I was trying to. This is your fourth unit. I hope you all have understood what all I was trying to say. That's why I show you this particular video. Know how Apple builds in that kind of a product. No, it. We call it as a symbol of perfection. We call it as this particular product. No, it is say one of the most innovative product of this particular century. So why we say it so? The major reason is we have seen the engineering. No, can you like suppose if I say that tomorrow you become an operation manager at Apple, then think over it what you have to do. Almost 800 plus sub processes you have to manage. My goodness. Right. So this is how the giant organizations they operate and they do things. This is how Apple manages its supply chain. इसके सारे data analytics supply chain का सब कुछ automated and this is how they do it. Right. So with this note, if you have any questions, we can take that up. Otherwise, we can wind up the class. Okay, fine. So no questions. So then we can end this class. And I think there are a few more classes. After that, I'll be sharing prepared my entire notes for each unit. I'll be sharing with you all. तभी मैं सोच रहा हूँ आपको 3-4 units के I'll talk to Bharti and I'll share with her. She'll share in the group. तो मैं सोच रहा हूँ instead of presentation, I'll share the notes also with you. So that presentation भी share कर दूंगा. It will help you out in further doing the self-learning. You can also share with all those who are missing the classes. It will also help them to do the self-learning, right? So with this note, thank you so much. And now you can go for the evening break. Thank you so much, guys.